Fellow Nigerians and those watching us outside the country, it's my pleasure to welcome you to Newsline. I am Jennifer Igwe. Today is International Men's Day, a global celebration that puts men front and center. The day is used to emphasize the many positive values of men and how they impact the world, their families, and societies. But how many are aware of this day, particularly men? Well, we have a feature especially on men, and it's something you need to watch because men, they are our heroes without cape. Then, are you aware of a wonderful location in Kogi State with granite rocks that mostly cannot be found anywhere else in the world? Indigenes of the area visit the site every year for an important reason that is linked to their heritage. Can you guess the name of this exceptional place? Well, as you're guessing, you'll get to know all about it later. Then do you also know there is Maiduguri in Maiduguri? And you're wondering, Maiduguri in Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State? Yes. There is a history behind it, and you can only get all the info if you stay tuned. The cases of alleged trans-like states by people after close contact with some individuals is a serious problem in Niger State. This notion is endangering lives. Now, what is it all about and what can be done about it? We have this also on cue. We have also celebrations and wedding bells. And you know, Newsline, we love love. And we won't show you all the Newsline stories first without starting with the news. So my colleague, Elizabeth Omoruye, is standing by for the news segment, and I'm sure she's ready to roll. So, Lizzie, now the news.
Of course, I'm ready to roll. Thank you so much for joining us in Abuja for the news segment. Now we begin with the latest from the judiciary. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has nullified the election of Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State. The three-member panel of justices in a unanimous decision held that Mutfwang was not validly sponsored by the PDP as provided by the Constitution. The court held that the appeal of Nentawe Goshwe of the APC succeeds as this issue of qualification was both pre- and post-election matters. The panel agreed with the appellant that the failure of the PDP to comply with the order of the High Court of Plateau State sitting in Jos directing it to conduct valid ward, local government and state congresses before nominating its candidates for the various elective posts was a breach of the law. In the light of this, the panel set aside the judgment of the Plateau State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal for being highly inconsistent and breach of fair hearing by relying on expunged witnesses' statements to refuse Goshwe's petition. The panel orders INEC to withdraw the certificate of return issued to Mutfwang and issue a fresh one to Goshwe, who is the candidate of the PDP APC. Away from the judiciary, the federal government wants project managers to work with its renewed hope agenda to curb quackery and corrupt practices associated with project management. Secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume, at a program to mark this year's Project Management Week in Abuja, said it will go a long way in achieving results and saving lives. Tokpe Alabi brings us details.
Effective project management requires well-executed strategies for successful implementation that will improve citizens' quality of life. Aware of the strategic position project managers occupy, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, represented by the Director of Administration, Anthony Obioha, noted their critical role in helping the government to achieve its renewed hope agenda and urged them to ensure that excellent services are provided in all sectors of the economy.
All the MDAs, private sector and the citizens alike, to always engage the services of the statutory bodies, as a war against substandard products is a war we all must win.
So we look for Nigerians who have existing qualifications, and we now train them and ensure they have the generic concept that they can apply.
Highlights of the program was an induction of 5 new fellows and 15 new members equipped with necessary skills and knowledge to deliver on its regulatory mandate.
I was so much enriched by the training that I went through, which will be a kind of my Quran or Bible.
Actually, this training I have acquired will help me a lot for executing my day-to-day activities, which is managing the project on site.
The CIPMN Establishment Act, which empowers the institute to regulate its activities, was passed into law in 2017. In Abuja, Tokpe Alabi, NTA News.
Away from project management, the federal government wants project managers. All right, we'll just go now. The Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy Ohanenye, is exploring different empowerment avenues to change the poverty narrative of Nigerian women. This time, the ministry is partnering a Chinese organization on ways to involve women in cattle rearing through the use of locally sourced materials other than vegetation. Ngozi Technical reports on this and other developments in the ministry.
The popular notion that poverty has the face of a woman, the Women Affairs Minister is not relenting in her efforts to change the narrative for women in Nigeria. The latest is the collaboration with a Chinese firm that will share ideas on the latest technology in cattle rearing. It is the combination of grains that can fasten the development of cattle and increase milk production, among other yields.
They will give us all the modernized, mechanized farming tools to get it easier for Nigerians to do this work, get more proceeds without over-suffering themselves.
The growing period is about at least 1.5 a year. But if just feeding them with the feed produced by our machines, the growing period can be shortened within 8 months.
The minister also gave updates on the 8-year child molested in Enugu, which the ministry has been following up.
We are suing the man himself for defiling this girl and transmitting some venereal diseases onto this girl. We sued the mother for negligence under section 46 subsection 1 and section 34 subsection 1, which gives me the right and local standing to try to take this matter to court in my person as the Minister of Women Affairs.
The minister vowed not to rest on her oars until the culprits are brought to book. In Abuja, Ngozi Technical, NTA News.
Now, in continuation of its mandate of keeping the nation's maritime domain safe for legitimate ventures, the Nigerian Navy has flagged off Exercise Expression, hoping to get rid of illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing within the Nigerian waters. Michael Olaleye reports that the Western Naval Command seized the operation as part of a sustained effort towards protecting the potential of the blue economy.
Although the dark cloud that once eclipsed the Gulf of Guinea in terms of sea robbery and piracy has surrendered to bigger force, but illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing is still a challenge. The European Union say about $1.6 billion is lost to the act annually, aside undermining preservation of marine resources. The Western Naval Command has taken up the task to end the ugly trend and has dedicated its 4th sea exercise of the year to fishing as perpetrators.
When you go out at sea, you see fishing vessels. They are fishing normally. You interrogate them, they sound normal. But with the cooperation with the fisheries department, they will let us know what really to look out for so that we can find those errant people. You know, we're in the blue economy era, so we need to sharpen our skills towards contributing to the economic security of the nation.
Beyond this exercise, Edge Expression will enable the Navy test the operational state of its machinery while enhancing proficiency of officers.
Other exercises like the communications exercise and seamanship evolutions are also a part of this outing.
The flag officer commanding Naval Doctrine Command was on board NNS Kada to assess combat readiness.
To conduct both maritime security operations and also acts of warfighting. So in the gunnery exercises, we want to check how the ships are carrying out the exercise.
While the Navy reiterated its commitment to perfecting the skills in policing the Nigerian waters, it equally called for reciprocity from the public in the area of giving credible information that will assist in getting rid of criminalities. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Into drug interception, a notorious major distributor of illicit substances within the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Ibrahim Momo, popularly known as Ibrahim Bendel, has been arrested by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency during a raid at his hideout in Dede area of the FCT. The drug lord was arrested with 56.9 kilograms of cannabis sativa and 42.7 grams of diazepam. In another raid in the same area, one Yusufa Ibrahim was also arrested with 75.3 kilograms of cannabis. Meanwhile, various NDLE operations across the country led to the arrests of various suspects, and a massive operation covering more than 21 hectares of farmland led to the destruction of 52,500 kilograms of cannabis sativa at Efon in Ekiti State. Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, while commending officers and men of various commands, urges them and their compatriots across all formations of the agency to intensify the offensive against drug cartels as the Yuletide approaches. The air component of the Nigerian Air Force under Operation Wild Punch has sustained airstrikes against terrorists operating in the northwest and north central region of the country, leading to the decimation of several terrorist elements in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. NAF spokesperson Air Commodore Edward Gapquet says the strikes followed credible intelligence confirming the presence of terrorist kingpin Buhari and his foot soldiers at Swani Doka. Another airstrike targeting hideout at Nasiru, brother of Buhari, was also successful. Buhari, his brother, and their foot soldiers have been blamed for several attacks and kidnappings along Abuja-Kaduna Highway, Kaduna-Birnin-Gwari Road, and several communities in Niger and Kaduna states. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Army is developing the skills of West African military officers on the use of non-kinetic approach to counter violent extremism in the region. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa, who was at a strategic engagement organized by the Martin Luther Agwai International Leadership and Peacekeeping Center, now reports.
Violent extremism is a global security challenge that has truncated socioeconomic activities and hampered development in parts of Africa for decades. This program, organized by the Martin Luther Agwai International Leadership and Peacekeeping Center, with support from UNDP and Japan, is aimed at strengthening the capacity of military officers from African countries on improved diverse combat skills.
This training provides numerous benefits, including increased awareness, community resilience, cooperation, effective intervention strategies, enhanced security measures, and support for post-conflict rehabilitation.
Now, the paradigm shift proposed by stakeholders is the application of non-kinetic approach in dealing with emerging security threats on the continent.
Building the capacity of relevant partners to effectively counter violent extremism will improve socio-economic well-being of the respective population, sustain global and national peace and development, enhance the professionalism of the beneficiary, and significantly boost citizen government trust and confidence.
So Japan pledged to contribute to realization of sustainable peace and stability and strengthening human resource development in Africa.
The strategy is driven by development that involves the establishment of alternative dispute resolution mechanism, access to justice, and good governance. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Away from security matters, on behalf of the people and government of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu celebrates former President Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan on his 66th birthday for his unique demonstration of statesmanship and his notable achievements as a leader who gave Nigeria and Africa pride of place in democratic law by changing the status quo of holding on to power by all means. In a statement, the president believes the former president has a distinguished profile in leadership, rising from the ladder as deputy governor, vice president and president, now championing the cause of peace in Africa, counseling leaders on harmonious coexistence. As the former president clocks 66, President Tinubu affirms that his wisdom and patriotism will continue to set example for leaders aspiring to make a difference in Nigeria and beyond. The president prays God to sustain the former president and his wife Patience in good health and strength. The name ECOWAS connotes different things for different people, but you will agree with me that what readily comes to mind for many, anytime the name ECOWAS is mentioned, is regional politics. Kenneth Nanim was at Abome Calavi, Benin Republic, where the big masquerades of the West African region converged, but this time not for politics, but to celebrate a feat achieved that will brighten even the hinterlands of ECOWAS member states, giving away for development.
The inauguration of this 30 million European Development Funds assisted project is the reason for this mixture of ambience from the Francophone and the Anglophone brothers, connoting unity of purpose.
Through this project, we are promoting regional integration in our sub-region, and through this project, our member states will be able to purchase or sell energy, which will help also to reduce the cost and provide a constant supply of energy to all our member states, for the well-being of our citizens.
Responsibility is also on them to sustain the initiative.
For all issues related to selling and buying electricity within the 14 West African countries, it can be possible now, and hopefully will begin the first quarter next year, because presently all the 14 countries from West Africa are interconnected electrically.
This decision, described as a right step in the right direction, is expected to beam a light of hope in the localities.
It starts from strengthening the relationship among member states of ECOWAS, and also it has economic benefits. But when there is regular, reliable and functional power supply to household, businesses and industries across the West African sub-region, there will be immediate springing up of small and medium-scale enterprises.
It is glaring that the mood here is that of celebration, as immediate beneficiaries rode out the drums. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Update on hygiene practices as Akwa Ibom State joins their counterparts to celebrate the World Toilet Day. Experts emphasized the need for Nigerians to reawaken their consciousness of maintaining a good personal hygiene for a healthy nation. Emedion Umo reports.
Accelerating change is the theme for this year's World Toilet Day, and it seeks to address individual and collective responsibilities to ensure every sanitary crisis in the nation is tackled to the barest minimum. A recent research by the World Health Organization has it that 3.5 million people are living without safe toilets, with 419 million people still practicing open defecation. This action continues to threaten global health as diseases spread, killing 1,000 children under 5 years every single day.
People don't pay attention to toilets. Hence this theme that people must change their attitude when it comes to environment health, as in their well-being, and sanitation, very importantly.
Some people harp on the need for government to address issues of public health.
I think government should provide a street toilet for anybody that wants to stop by and his himself.
I would suggest that every household should have a toilet within their facility, not to defecate anywhere.
With a countdown to year 2030, having just 7 years left to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal SDG 6, save water and toilet for all by 2030, stakeholders believe that more still needs to be done. In Uyo, Emedion Umo, NTA News.
In the attention of the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Betta Edo, has been drawn to a circulating bogus child support scheme titled Federal Government's 50,000 Child Support Fund for All Nigerian Parents. A statement by the Special Advisor to the Minister on Media and Publicity, Rashid Olarewaju Zubair, says the scheme accompanied with the link are fake, as they did not emanate from the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, noting that all social intervention schemes of the ministry are well documented and are properly brought to the notice of Nigerians through the proper channels. While security agents have swung into action to unmask the unpatriotic elements behind the intended scam, Nigerians are advised to ignore the link to avoid being defrauded of their hard-earned money. More than 4,000 inmates serving jail terms and fines and compensations not exceeding 1 million naira can now breathe the air of freedom. This follows payment of their fines by philanthropic individuals, groups and corporate bodies as part of their corporate social responsibility. Victor Azu brings us details.
Clad in their jail uniforms, yet engaging in friendly banters, this was a part of the 4,068 inmates across the country set to resume their normal lives after some individuals, groups and corporate bodies raised 585 million naira to pay off their fines and compensations. More importantly, they have been equipped with skills to keep them going and out of trouble.
It's not something we were expecting, and then it came to us unexpected. So we're very happy and we thank the government for this very, very wonderful opportunity. And we are praying and wishing that we never go back to our wrong ways again.
I'm a web designer myself, so I also came in and learned artwork for designs and also how to also think about my people, about agriculture. So I have plans when I go out.
As these inmates begin their reintegration into society, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunjojo, wants Nigerians to be more accommodating of ex-offenders.
I implore you all to be good ambassadors of the NCOS by not returning back to the way of crime, but rather lead productive lives as responsible and law-abiding citizens.
I also use this opportunity to call on the larger community to receive these returning citizens with open arms. They should refrain from stigmatizing against them, as it can drive them back to offending the law, which will further endanger the society.
Prior to this exercise, available records show that Nigerian custodial centers were overcrowded by more than 30,000 inmates, a major cause of recent jail attacks. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
To safety on the roads, the Road Safety Officers' Wives Association, ROSOA, wants Nigerians to be more concerned about safety of accident victims by being prompt to rescue them. President of ROSOA, Aisha Ladibu, led members on a visit to accident victims at the National Hospital, Abuja, as part of activities commemorating the 2023 African Road Safety Day and World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Victims. ROSOA members say the visit is to empathize with injured road crash victims receiving treatment, provide some financial support and essential items like crutches. In recognition of the huge health burden imposed by road traffic crash, AU and United Nations set aside 3rd Sunday of November as Africa Road Safety Day and World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Victims through African Union Council resolution. Talking sports, Nigeria's Super Eagles falter again in FIFA World Cup qualifiers as Australia claims 6th cricket world title. Details with Badi Adeleye on Sports Updates.
Nigerian Super Eagles came from a goal down to draw the Warriors of Zimbabwe in their second group game of the qualification series to the 2026 FIFA World Cup scheduled to hold in USA, Mexico and Canada. Walter Musona opened scoring in the 26th minutes for Zimbabwe before Nigeria's Kelechi Iheanacho equalized to pull Nigeria back to end the game 1-1. As it stands, Nigeria has 2 points from 2 games to remain second on the Group C table behind South Africa with 3 points. The Minister of Sport Development, John Enoch, has re-echoed the need for up-to-date and functional facilities to fully harness and develop sport in Nigeria to meet global standard. John Enoch stated this while on an inspection tour of facilities at the Northeast Zonal Headquarters of the Ministry in Enugu.
What I found out is that, we have facilities all the same, but these facilities a lot of the times are in a state of neglect.
Red Bull's Max Verstappen is celebrating a record-extending 18th victory of the Formula One season on Saturday and joining Sebastian Vettel in third place on the all-time winners list. The triumph was the 53rd of the triple world champion's career and 6th in a row, leaving the Dutch driver level with now retired German Sebastian Vettel in third place. And finally, to golf, as Tiger Woods is set to return to competitive action at the Euros Cup Challenge event. According to the 15 times major champions, the PGA Tour will be his first major event since undergoing ankle injury in April. Woods has not played in a major tournament this year after withdrawing from the Masters due to his ankle operation and missed the PGA Championship, US Open and British Open. With sports update, Oche Ngbede, NTA News.
And that was Oche with the sporting stories. Now, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun and Senator Ibikunle Amosun have paid tributes to Major General Ekundayo Babakayode Opaleye MNI, the former military governor of Old Ondo State, following his passing. Major General Opaleye, who served as military governor from August 1986 to 1987 during the regime of General Ibrahim Babangida, passed away on Saturday in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Governor Abiodun described late Opaleye as a patriotic military officer and an exemplary administrator. He acknowledged the significant contributions made by Major General Opaleye to the nation and extends his condolences and prayers to the family during this difficult time. Similarly, Senator Amosun also shares his grief over the loss of Major General Opaleye, whom he hailed as an illustrious son of Owu Kingdom and a dedicated military officer. Senator Amosun condoles with the Olowu of Owu, the Balogun of Owu, the Owu Traditional Council of Chiefs and the Nigerian military over the loss. And next is a look at the weather picture for tomorrow, Monday.
To the weather forecast, moderate dust haze is expected across the north and the north-central cities, though few places may report visibility below 1,000 meters over the north. The south should be sunny with patches of cloud during the morning hours. However, we have prospect of thunderstorms later in the afternoon and evening hours across the southeast coast and a few places over the inland cities. Places like Edo, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River State. I leave you with the forecast across some selected cities. Thank you for watching.
And that ends the news segment of the program. More to come with Jennifer after this break. To stay with us.